recap. The mountainside town of Berngarder was set ablaze. Homes and livelihoods lost to the conflagration of witchfire. Even amidst the chaos of the fire, there was the rebellion of the kobolds. Long-standing truce on the verge of collapse, and the consequences of the breaking of that union remained to be seen. But still another conflict was taking place. Our party of adventurers, after a brief encounter that resulted in 2 new kobold companions, Mardov and Twinkle, were confronted by Goostrok Gemblight, the Duergar paladin of a dark faith, and Harren Crackhammer, a lesser son and failing heir to Berngarder. Gemblight, furious at the treatment he received and refusing to deal further with Harren, declared he would rather speak to Bjorn, the geriatric head of Clan Crackhammer, and Harren's disappointed father. And so they left to retrieve the old dwarven leader. Shortly after that departure, however, the sounds of battle began. Goostrok and Harren were ambushed by a combination of dark fae and kobold agents. A situation that seemed to turn most dire, but you all managed to insert yourselves and save Harren, though Gemblight fell on the battlefield, and Bjorn Crackhammer was captured by a Banderhob. And then Grandmother Blackspruce appeared. After mobilizing you all with her strange and powerful magic, she declared you were to be eliminated. Her dark forces, waiting beyond the barrier that once held you all in place, eagerly watched as your party hid under the chambers of the recently captured Bjorn Crackhammer. And in there, you discovered that the book Twinkle had stolen from the hags turned out to have a type of sentience. A satyr in the mirror on the front of the book promised you all rest and safety. And in agreeing to take that offer, a portal was opened. A portal that basked you all in a warm golden light and the smell of lilies. Deciding the portal to be the preferred option than facing a horde of dark fae, you've all leapt through. And so our story is going to begin with you all on a small sandy beach at the edge of a dark forest. There are rocks and boulders large enough to sit on, littering the shore, and the soothing sound of frothing waves in the distance. The slowly dancing stars overhead. The moon is full as it looks down upon the sandy shores, and all is as it should be. And then there is a soft crackling in the air. As a portal opens up, there's a golden light. Out jumps a small blue kobold. He lands on his hands and knees, and he picks his head up to look around when suddenly a satyr emerges. Bob, if you could describe yourself as you walk out of this portal.
Bob is a 7.5 feet tall mountain satyr with fluffy dark brown hair that comes up to his shoulders with a strange sort of purplish tinge, exactly the same as his fur on his legs that come to an end in perfectly clean hooves and well-groomed tufts of fur. He's got a very, very plain, easy-going face with dewy brown eyes, usually with a big smile on his face, but now he just looks exhausted. And he has a cloak on that looks at first glance to just be a normal gray-brown cloak that, if you don't look at it carefully, seems to blur the edges around his body. Yeah, that's Bob.
Nice. Bob, you step through the portal, and right behind you, another mountain satyr steps through. Fila, you can describe yourself, please.
Fila is also a mountain satyr, about 7 feet tall. This furry, tan, bottom hooved creature with kind of ashy gray skin and large protruding horns, like pretty dramatic. 2 sets, one coming off of the top and kind of curling around, and then the other sort of coming out the base of her skull, sort of protruding forward. Slitted pupils at a 45-degree angle, and she wears a helm that's sort of made of different metals and encrusted with different jewels, and um, it fits sort of like it was just made for her horned head. And she wears a cloak, a black furry cloak that has 6 paws hanging around the edges. So it's a hide of some sort, you would gather. And if you can see under the cloak, she's got some pretty crazy tattoo on her right arm, and it kind of depicts this mountain scene with uh, different sets of satyr horns protruding all over the place. It goes up her arm and all over her chest and bodice. Um, and it just kind of, it's a relic of home for her.
All right, Philia, you come through. Callian, you were the next to step through the portal. Describe yourself.
When you see Callian, you see a 6-foot-tall, well-built man. Not too bulky or skinny, but built more for pure efficiency from the constant physical training he's got to go through. Short, sandy blonde hair, which often falls on his face without him brushing it away. Golden eyes, fair skins naturally, but based on his upbringing is typically tan. You'll always see him with a necklace, a circular amulet on it that has numbers written in celestial circling it, and then 2 hands pointing upwards on it. And at the base, it's sort of an orange to yellow glowy effect that changes based on the time of day. His armor, which was gifted to him, is made into almost like a second skin by this point for him. It's a lighter bronze color, very fitted to his body, having lion's face engraved on the shoulder pads, and a circle with flames surrounding it engraved on the back. And that's Callian.
Awesome. Callian just pops through. Jonquil, you're the next one to pop out of the portal.
I just realized Jonquil is the shortest of the group. Sans the kobolds. They stand about 5.5 feet tall. They are a pale pink tiefling with kind of rosy freckles, platinum blonde hair that is in vibrant, long curls. They are dressed in creams and silvers and teals. They have what almost looks like a tattoo, but it is in fact a metallic piece, just kind of plastered to their forehead. One of their horns is snapped away and jagged and uneven. The other spirals upward. And they look beaten within an inch of their life as they stagger out of the portal.
And then finally, Armorer, dragging a dwarf, emerges from the golden portal.
So you see this large 6'6" warforged that is essentially the antithesis of Jonquil, looking to be very sturdy right now, fairly undamaged, does not have a lot of colors going on right now. You can see the mechanical eyes just kind of gazing around, almost half lidded, and watching around. When you look at Armor's skin, you can tell there's kind of a difference between his head and his hands, and also the fact that he has an arm blade. So he is missing one arm, and it is in a warhammer form at this moment. And in his other hand, he has a dwarf that he's dragging along with a very large mirror on his back. You also notice that it looks like he's got this full plate armor, but you can't tell where his skin starts and where the armor starts. And there is on his shoulder a darkened mechanical raven as he enters through and gazes upon the beach.
So, as you all step through the portal and come out on the other side, you don't step out cool. It's not very dramatic, as you all kind of dogpile into each other and just collide and collectively squish poor Twinkle at the bottom, and then topping your dogpile off with a Warforged.
Who is 350 pounds.
Armorer! Get off!
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
I love you
didn't
very
plan it.
much. Get the fuck off me.
All right. I use the dwarf to kind of like brace as I push myself up.
All right. As you guys kind of step off and extract yourselves from the dog pile, you realize a couple of things. One, the portal that you came through is closing. And two, the beach that you're on, the sand is incredibly fine. Like as you step on it, right, your hands almost like sink through. For you mountain satyrs, this is quite annoying as your little hooves are just like, you got like kind of going up to your knees. The other thing that you notice right away is that while you can hear the sound of the sea, the sound of waves frothing in the distance, you can't see it. And stranger still, the sky isn't the inky black that you know, but it's like a pale ocean green.
You said it's nighttime. There's like moonlight.
There is moonlight. There is a full moon almost like directly above you. And it looks way larger and more present is the best word I can come up for it, than usual.
And do we see the figure that was pictured in that book?
No. Aside from your group, it's just you. But do roll me a perception check though. Let's play some D&D.
Perception.
I was going to say, I was going to look at the portal to see if anything.
Bad. 12.
Portal's gone. As you look around with your 12, you do find one thing that seems kind of odd. You find two things actually. The first thing you find is a pair of snowshoes at the edge of the sand, just where it kind of changes into the forest. They are bound together by like vines and roots so that they're kind of like tied together, but you find them. And the other thing you notice is the trees as you approach them. They're dark. Like you can't, it's really hard for you to like make out the texture of the bark.
Does anybody recognize this place?
I do not.
Same thing.
And I immediately sit down, plop into the sand, and I pull a little gem off of my clothing, and I start ritually casting something.
How long do you need for your ritual?
10 minutes.
All right, we'll come
Don't
back
let
to you in
anyone
10.
fuck with me. I'm busy.
Jonquil says is bleeding.
I have 1 hit point, and I am very small.
Oh no. Bob's going to take out his dagger and see if it's glowing.
Okay, you kind of pull your dagger forward, check the blade. It does not appear to be glowing. It's the regular color your dagger is. It's dagger colored.
Interesting. It's dagger colored. I
will walk up to Jonquil and put a hand on their shoulder as unassuming as possible, so as not to interrupt their ritual, and just close my eyes for a moment, and a little glow comes into my hand, and it is a hand of healing, hand of healing. So you're going to get 1d6 plus 2 hit points.
Ew.
And it's a 6.
You know,
You get 8
thank
hit
you.
points.
I also got my hit points reduced, so that is half of my current ability for health. Thank you very much. They're going to, I know that we had some Sylvan to common lessons, so they're going to try and thank her in Sylvan.
Okay.
I will say in broken common, you welcome.
Give me 2, let's just call it intelligence checks. No proficiency yet.
Shit, that was almost a 19, 10.
18.
Passable, quite efficient.
I say, you thank.
Thank me. Fila, as you kind of like, offer your welcomes to Jonquil, and the key is receding in you, right? You feel this sort of like pulse, not from within yourself, but from the ground, kind of like traveling up through your hooves into you. And you're reminded of your old home, the Nameless One. And you remember how the Nameless One is essentially the source of your power. You feel closer. Back when you were in Crackhammer Hall and you were channeling your ki, it felt like you were really drawing from within yourself. But now when you go to heal Jonquil, it feels different. That power is almost like instantly replenished. So you can regain that key point.
Oh.
You don't expend it.
Oh.
The power.
Can I investigate a little bit? Maybe pull my hands through the sand and let it fall out slowly, and maybe smell it and just try to discern whether or not we are in the Feywild right now.
Okay. You kneel down and you pull up some of the sand and you kind of sprinkle it down. Roll me your investigation.
10.
As you kind of go to kind of examine the sand as it falls, it kind of like just kind of rains back down, but you notice that several particles seem to just kind of hang in the air just momentarily, rotate slowly, and then continue their travel.
Look at Bob.
Yes, Fila.
Does this not feel oddly familiar?
Bob's gonna look around to see, like, if any of this seems familiar to him.
Is this thing
What
still
are you-
working? Is this still on?
Your mic?
Our, Our mind link?
Good point. I think actually, according to my notes here, Callian, you were out of the mine lobby. When you went down, you got booted.
Yeah.
Because losers aren't allowed in their lobby. And then
we were elitist, I'm sorry.
so Armor and Bob, you are still linked. You have roughly 3 hours left.
Okay.
According to my notes.
Another 3 hours.
So, Bob, describe to me your approach here. What are you doing?
He's going to. Well, he's seen Fila touch the sand, and he's going to do that too. But he's also going to see if he can hear or smell anything that would clue on to or maybe this has been something familiar to him or something.
Okay. Roll me a
similar.
perception check.
Perception. That's
Perception.
17.
17. Well, Bob, you instantly perceive 2 things. Thing number 1, there are 2 particular scents. 1, the scent of salt. And 2, the scent, the clean spring scent of flowers. And with the 17, you can kind of distinguish over the sand is sort of the direction where you might anticipate finding that salty smell. It seems to linger heavier over there, whereas the flowers seem to be kind of behind you, a little bit deeper into the forest.
Nothing seems very familiar to me, but I don't know. Seems almost like we are on the beach and There's something strange about this place, Vila.
With
Indeed.
your 17, Bob, you start to hear like heavy splashing off in the distance over the sand dunes.
Splashing like
Splashing.
sea waves or splashing like a thing in the water?
Splashing like water surface breaking. It splashes. A splashy splasherson sound.
I think that's
the-
code for investigator if you want to know.
Yeah.
Hint, hint.
Splashy splash sound in the distance.
It's a splish splash sound.
This is a splish splash
Seems
sound.
wet.
There is water.
There is water, and movement. Whether or not that is waves or a thing in the water, I'm not sure.
Oh, Bob, actually, there's one more thing I need to point out with your excellent perception. And I think all of you would actually notice this, except for Jonquil, who is busy ritualizing. You are a party member short.
Ah. Are we?
You've got
Yes.
Haran Crackhammer, who
Oh.
is dejectedly
There's
kind
our
of
other little kobold.
following Armorer.
Where
and
is
then
our-
you have Twinkle.
Mordove.
Where is our new friend?
The little one.
I
The
say
one
in
that was
Sylvan
in
to
your
Bob.
coat. I don't know. I came out after that flashy one, and then I got piled on by everyone else. I am not sure where that one has gone off to. I thought he was still under your coat somewhere.
No, I am speaking of the new friend
Oh, the new friend.
with the bow and arrow. Or was it a crossbow?
No, that's the same character. Same
Yeah,
thing.
Same.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, that one.
No. Is it possible to have gotten lost in the movement here?
I look back where the portal was. Is there anything there yet? Or still?
Nothing. No, it's just empty space.
That's worrying.
There's Armorer and Haran Crackhammer kind of standing there. Armorer, what are you doing with Haran Crackhammer? Please tell me why you brought him along.
Yeah.
Do tell.
Apparently, it was more like a souvenir. But
Actually,
no.
at this point, Haran Crackhammer actually looks up at you and he's like, why'd you bring me? My home.
well, there wasn't
You
much
forced
of a
me to
home
abandon
left.
Thanks to you, you burned my home.
You don't know that. You can't prove that. I'm
point
still
of all
holding
this?
him also by like.
Yeah,
the
yeah. And
collar.
he's like got his hand kind of against you and he kind of like tries to pull away, but he's not very strong. You're easily stronger than him. And he kind of like bounces back. He's like, I don't know. I don't understand what's going on here.
Well,
Where
I
are
mean,
we?
We saved your life. I don't know where we are. I mean, I don't think anybody knows. As I'm like sinking into this soft sand.
Yeah. Then to your credit, so is he kind of.
Yeah.
He's, you know,
It's like,
Is the portal open?
portal's not. Portal's
Fuck.
closed.
It's like,
Find another one and push him back through. They still are casting.
Find another one.
like, well, I will say, Heron, I believe that you got lucky there and you didn't get eaten by like your father. So I'm thinking that you should be thanking me rather than being a little feisty here. And I just kind of like discard him off to the side.
Where
now,
is
I have other things to do. So as Jonquil is like doing her ritual cast, I'm gonna start like. I assume her clothing's all messed up. I'll start doing like mending.
Oh, thank you. It's,
We're
they're
just
definitely
taking
all
care of
fucked
you.
up.
Yeah.
Thank you, Armor. I do have a question. I am making a safe space for us to spend about 8 hours, and I can select the people who I would like to enter. Frankly, I don't want him to enter. They'll point to Craghammer.
So
It's
we're
like-
Is that all
leave him?
right?
Kind of walking away.
Is he just gonna wander off into this unknown land?
He's just kind of standing at the edge of your group.
Yeah.
He's just like dejectedly like looking at the sky.
Well,
Trying to have his
Uh,
Simba Mufasa moment, but it's really not
I have
happening for him.
I have this fear that if I let him into the hut, he will kill us while we sleep.
Okay, I'll lean forward. Based on
Well,
what
I
I've
mean,
seen
I don't
of him
really
so
sleep,
far,
so
I don't think he's the aggressive type, if you will.
Can I roll insight
Pretty-
to size up our friend Heron?
Sure.
See if he's feeling aggro. It's a natural one.
Oh.
so aggressive.
You know which one he is.
You see
You are
him like
aware
a
of Heron
Dwarf?
Crackhammer.
he is here. He is in our vicinity.
We
But
could-
strangely enough, Fila, you're so distracted by kind of the feeling in your body right now. As you kind of like look over to Heron Crackhammer, I mean, it's more like he's kind of like shrouded in shadow and darkness, just kind of in his own world, and it's difficult to even be aware of him. As he
Certainly.
seems to just kind of well, not quite full on weeping angels Doctor Who, but like when he's not in your vision, you almost kind of like,
Good lord.
or no, what is it? The silence?
The
The ones
silence.
where you
Oh.
forget. Yeah.
Yeah.
When he's just like at the edge of your periphery, you become aware of him.
I don't
Suddenly
know
it
that
occurs to
reference.
me.
Should I be worried or not?
What was that, Callie?
I don't know that reference. Should I be worried?
Yes.
Yes, very.
Fila's going to try to communicate to everyone. Well, she says in Sylvan, "Where is the book? Book, book."
Look where.
Well,
Look, where
where's
is-
Twinkle?
Mm.
Twinkle's there.
Wait, do I have the book? Does
Yes,
Armor have
Jonquil-
the book?
Yeah,
Who
I
has
think
the book?
Jonquil or Armor. One of you have
I
the book.
think I have the book. Yeah, because I think I just put it in my bag. Yeah.
But yeah, Twinkle's there
want-
as well. Callie.
Book,
I'm just
book.
like imitating Hinge. Hinge.
Yes, book.
No,
Well, I can't make a hinge right now, lady. I don't have the
think-
materials or the time. So
No,
what-
no, no,
what do
no,
you-
no, no. Book.
Bob is going to
Oh, you
in
want the
his
reedy thing? There we go.
thought
So I
lobby.
start. I
Reedy
put
thing.
I put my
The
hand
book.
into my one of my bag of holding. So just here you go. Just hand it over.
Okay. Look at the front where we previously saw our satyr friend giving us
Mhm.
that message. Is there anything there?
You see your reflection for a moment, and then as you watch your reflection, it slowly changes, and you see a different mountain. You see a different satyr, not mountain satyr necessarily, but you see a different satyr on the cover, and you see the satyr who you had seen previously, and he responds, "Well, well, my dearest, how can I help you today?"
In common or Sylvan?
Sylvan.
Cool. Hello. We were expecting a safe place, like you mentioned. This
Ah,
feels very exposed.
hmm.
Where
Well.
are we?
You are at the end of the path of lilies. If you are looking for somewhere safe, if you are seeking sanctuary, might I suggest following the lilies, and Silvari will take care of the rest. And he fades away.
Do I see any lilies?
Roll me a perception check.
Okay.
Did say we smelled them, correct? We were.
They were sniffed out.
16.
Sniff but not see.
16, you do also smell and see a path of lilies just at the edge of the forest. You see there is a bed of lilies that kind of carries on beyond the tree line for about 10 feet. And as you approach it, as you get closer, that 10 feet extends. And it kind of begins to extend the closer you get, the more it leads into the woods.
Does that mean something, Vila?
Yes.
You all heard the Sylvan.
And
He was spoken.
Silvari, you said the name? Silvari?
Silvari.
Do I recognize that name?
No. Jonquil, roll me a history check. Actually, no, roll me an intelligence check first, just basic intelligence. And being a bard, actually, you do get to add like half your skill.
Oh, okay.
Because
so add
of,
my
Jack of all
intelligence and then
trades.
half proficiency.
Yeah, because of Jack of all
13.
trades.
14, and then my proficiency is +3, so would I add 1 or 2?
Round down 1.
15.
Okay. 15. You get most of the gist of the Sylvan conversation between Fila and the individual on the cover of the book. And now that you've understood that, let's get a history check for it as well.
18.
18. You recall an old, obscure legend, tale about Decorus, the herald of Nazis. And you recall that Decorus was said to have a place of refuge, a fortress of solitude, if you will, that was overseen by an individual known as Silvari Stonesinger.
And would I know if there were trials and tribulations to reach said place?
No, the god of pleasure would never do something like that to you guys.
I don't know, how many minutes has it been since they started casting?
We'll say it's there. Actually, as you began casting, as you kind of like connect yourself to the weave, you even feel the magic kind of flow into you and out of you with every breath. And the spell is cast quicker than you'd expect. And what spell are you casting?
They are ritual casting Lehman's tiny hut, but they will stop before the end of it and say, so if we want to proceed to this Silvari person, I can leave this for you, Craighammer. Do you promise not to murder us?
He looks around. He's like, I've got nothing left. I don't. If y'all will just leave me, I'll be on my way, honestly.
Can I insight check that honestly?
Sure.
Bad. 11.
11?
Mm-hmm.
Even with an 11, it's not hard to see that his demeanor, he's just super depressed. He's just dejected. And you can even see, like, as he moves, the shadows around him seem to just grow that much deeper. You see, as he kind of slinks away, he seems almost vaguely aware of anything else around him as he's just kind of spiraling.
Oi, they're going to approach, put their hand on his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making this little hut for you. We can all pass in and out of it, but if anything tries to harm you, that will exist for 8 hours. You can be safe in there, you can rest. I know this is not ideal, but you are alive.
Very well. And he just kind of like continues to stumble off.
Can I make a medicine or arcana? I don't. This seems arcane and possibly like some sort of affliction. The shadows. I don't know which. What sort of check would you want to identify that?
Let's do Arcana.
Arcana. Okay. Well, 16.
16. I'm going to say also aided by your headwear.
Oh!
When you observe him, you see the way, you almost see like the weave itself. You can just kind of see like almost magic in the air all around you. And you just see the way it kind of flows in and out of things. You see the forest has its own very unique type of magic, but then around Harren Crackhammer, you see a very different state. He looks like a black hole. He looks like he's just kind of sucking in just all this strange energy that's just kind of weighing him down, and he's being kind of warped in this just odd, depressing state. His character is just not doing well.
Okay.
But he seems very much kind of like, yeah.
Oh, how does he seem? Sorry, that was me planning something, and then I realized I was gesturing.
He just seems very he doesn't seem to really be. He seems to be like losing awareness of like everybody else around him. That like the longer he kind of goes on, and he just kind of continues to kind of stumble away down the beach.
This is 120 feet. They're just going to. I don't love it, and cast Dispel Magic on him.
Okay.
And see what happens. I have no idea what. So, I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Rolled a 16, and then would I add my modifier or the spell attack bonus for the DC check? I don't know what level or if it is something I can't dispel.
Yeah.
But if it is a magical
what level
effect,
are you casting it? Yeah.
Third. It's the highest.
Third. So I think the DC is just a 13.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it only gets adjusted by like the spell level. So I think he has to make it, or I guess whatever is kind of driving that force has to make it.
That makes sense. I am done.
With
on a successful
natural 20 on the check. As your dispel magic kind of reaches out and tries to, you can see kind of like pulling away at the threads of the weave that are kind of feeding this dark arcane energy into him. And as it does so, it just can't keep up until it's eventually just worn down, and the dark energy just kind of continues to flow into him. And
I would like
Crackhammer. Yeah.
I would like to observe Callian if he's paying any attention to Heron, just to kind of discern his reaction and see how he's feeling or reacting to this.
Also, the check is for me. Sorry.
Check is for you? Sorry.
Reading
Okay.
the language of the spell. To roll a 15, and then my spell modifier is 5, so that is a dirty 20. But if you rolled a natural 20, I think he meets it, beats it.
Yeah. I'll say the magic in this place is so strong. You are casting your spell with intention and logic, and you just see that the magic that it kind of is working on him and binding him, it's not being drawn by him. It's just his emotion as he kind of sinks deeper into it.
Because I'm looking at this too. I'm not going to just leave him walk out there on his own.
Okay.
Sorry.
Up to you.
I made him a hut. I would
He has a hut.
like to leave him in the hut if we are going to this Silvani person. Silvari?
Silvari.
Yeah. And if you try to kind of guide him into the hut, he kind of just dejectedly kind of follows along. He's not fighting anything, and he's just almost seems like distantly aware of even being guided as he kind of walks in. What does the inside of the hut look like?
It is a 10-foot radius immobile dome of force. I can choose the color, so I make it blend in with the sand. Okay. And all of us can enter and exit it. It's just that no one else can. Spells and other magical effects can't. Oh, interesting. Spells and other magical effects can't extend through the dome or be cast through it. So I don't know if something would happen when he walks through. It is comfortable and dry on the inside, regardless of weather outside.
And what are you thinking for decor?
None. I don't think that there really is. This is a very simple
Okay.
Like a magic bubble.
spell. It's just a
No.
big. Yeah, it's a magic.
Sure, just a
bubble.
big area. Magic
No
bubble.
lava
Okay.
lamps or shag rugs. Or...
Until the spell ends, I can command the interior to become dimly lit or dark, but I don't think I can make objects appear. It's
Okay.
not like a creation.
Sure. It's not like you're
category.
creating like an actual hut. Got it.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. That would be cool. I'm thinking like, with a Weasley tent from
There are
Yeah,
higher
yeah.
level spells where you can do
Yeah.
that. You can do
Yeah.
Galder's power and essentially do that.
Squad
Oh.
goals.
Squad goals.
So you guys kind of are able to lead him in, and as you do so, it does seem like there's a weight lifted off of him. He's still, sad, right, and feeling pretty guilty of having being forced to leave his home behind as it was going to shit. And he's definitely more aware. He's like, I'll catch up with you or something. I don't know. I just
Tell you
need
what.
I need a moment.
Stay here. It exists for 8 hours. Just sleep. If we find a way out of here, we will come and get you.
He looks at you. I appreciate it. And you get the sense with your previous checks that he does appreciate it, but he's also a little confused as well.
Yeah.
He's
Valid,
very
dude.
confused.
Does Callian seem... I mean, so my intention is that I know I incited that Callian was sort of under the influence of some dark magic earlier, and I'm trying to incite if this is the same kind of thing that's affecting Heron. So that's why I'm looking at Callian to see how he's reacting to Heron.
Okay. Callian,
Yeah, I'm
how
just kind of
do
observing
you
you.
respond? What do you take?
Between me or you?
Yeah.
Even though I'm pretty tired too, haven't slept in a while, I'm just looking at Heron right now, and just more from an empathy point of view, just feeling bad for the guy.
Okay.
So I'll tell Heron. Is he he's just standing, sitting down?
Yeah, he kind of just
there?
sits onto one of the boulders that are like, they're all there's a good few that seem to be like perfect sitting height, and he just kind of plops down into one and just kind of like slides his face into his hands.
And I'll walk over to him and I'll put a hand on his shoulder. Say, what happened today? It wasn't your fault. It was unpredictable by most measures, but I'm sure there's most of Burgundy, the citizens, they must have escaped. There will be something to return back to.
I feel like I want you to roll something for this, but I don't either.
You just see armor in the background,
Yeah.
just kind of like kick insane.
Callian, you say that, and you feel like right beneath your pendant, just kind of this like warmth emanating. And you get this sense of approval. And you'll regain a use of one of your channel divinities.
Oh, Jesus.
And Heron Crackhammer looks up at you and he says, I don't know what to say. Thank you. I appreciate, I guess, what you've all done for me. I suppose I do have my life. And he kind of looks around to all of you and just kind of seems thankful.
You're welcome.
And
How about, I'll just one more thing, like, how about while we're gone, you just think of strategies. Keep busy. Don't think about your loss, think about your opportunity. But if
I'm going to work on both of your bedside manners.
But
I'll try.
yeah, I'll stop and I'll walk back to the group, I guess.
Okay.
Callian, is that the sort of advice you find helpful when you've lost everything?
Just trying. He looked like he was just going darker and darker.
Yes, he did.
So, what I've learned whenever I'm feeling down, one of the best things is just get busy, focus on a hobby, which is hard to do here. But
Well, I think what we can do is follow these lilies.
okay,
All right, let's get to it.
All right.
All right.
Just keeps starts trudging along.
Trudge along. Oop. Sorry, I keep thinking my pen's trying to fall off the desk.
No.
And as you guys kind of continue along the edge of the forest, you see the path of the lilies, and you kind of begin following it. And as you follow down the path of the lilies deeper into the forest, you look back and you see that the flowers that you had passed already have disappeared. The path behind you disappears, but it does continue forward. Can I get a marching order?
I'm leading the way like an idiot.
I think
I'm gonna
Philo will
right
be.
behind Jed.
Philo
I'm going to
wants to
move your
be
tokens
close
into the marching
to
order.
the front, but it's difficult to trudge through the sand in the hooves, so she may fall.
Oh no!
behind a little
After
bit.
once you cross past the tree line, it's like
Oh.
Oh.
Well,
Actually-
Homer's
yeah.
gonna be right behind John. Because I can see right over.
Let me just see some things here.
I'll go behind Armor.
yeah, everyone else is pretty much taller,
Okay.
so it's just like sitting at a
So-
table with a wall in front of me.
Okay, so what
We're
was it?
just going in height order?
You're going in
Yeah,
height order,
yeah.
basically. So Armor's bringing up the rear? No.
No, Armor isn't the tallest.
I think
He's
Bob-
6'6". Yeah. So I'm
So
pretty sure our
Bob-
satyrs are taller than me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so we got Jonquil, Fila,
Where am
Jonquil,
I?
Fila. Who was after Fila?
Well, I was after Jonquil. Armor
You were
was.
after Jonquil.
And then Philo was right behind me.
And Fila's right behind you.
Had
Okay.
bad energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Callie and Bob, where are you guys at?
I'll take the rear.
Okay. So we'll have Fila and Bob in the middle. Sorry, Bob. Just kind of put yourself there. And then I'll have Mardev is going to be between you, Callie, and Bob.
I thought Mardov wasn't there.
Sorry, not
You mean
Mardev,
Twinkle?
Twinkle.
Ah.
As he goes, okay, so I guess I will just stick with you then. He says, kind of like pointing up to you, Callian.
Yep. I will say, as we enter the forest, my amulet will start to shine a golden light. I'm gonna heal myself for 15 HP. And I'm gonna general question to the group. Is everyone doing okay?
I am fucked, but sleep will help.
Mm.
Because I can give you in like 10 or so health.
I look like I can quantifiably absorb about 8 bits of health before evil magic caps that off. I would appreciate it.
Then yeah, I'll heal John Quill for 8 HP.
Thank you, Callian.
I'll say to Bob and Sylvan,
Mhm.
supposedly we are being guided into a safe place, and we will meet someone named Silvari. I'm not sure we have much of a choice but to trust our satyr friend from the book. We shall see.
Yeah. We shall see. In the meantime, let's just be prepared.
Yes, stay vigilant.
We're already missing one of ours.
So, you all follow the path of the lilies. Jonquil and Callian. Let's get perception checks from the two of you, please.
Natural 1.
No, Lord.
Fantastic.
I rolled a 3 and I have to roll at disadvantage
And-
anyways.
High
so I
five!
bother.
You guys. Oh,
Oh,
Why is the
no.
rogue
Rolled
not
a
in the
2
front?
Anyways.
You guys, we need to get better at this marching order thing. We need
I
the
was just
rogue in the
thinking,
front.
Bob
Fine.
is going to be up front from now on.
It
You
works
guys are-
opposite in this world.
You guys are walking along, following at least what you thought was the path of lilies.
Oh, Lord.
And as you kind of find your way wandering now through this wood, every now and then you kind of the terrain gets harder. The roots get thicker as you now stroll straight off the path. And as you kind of bump into one of them, you push out and put your hand on the tree to kind of like stabilize yourself. And you see the tree, it kind of, right where you touch it, it kind of blossoms, it responds. You see multicolored lights of grays and blues kind of radiate from where your hand touched it as it spreads throughout the tree. And it kind of travels up all the different branches as it kind of branches off to all the leaves. The leaves chime, and you see them kind of reflect what faint bit of light there is. And as you continue down the path, you come to a particularly large tree. It kind of branches out over wide. Its leaves kind of trail down in front of it. And it looks like, as you kind of approach closer, as the wind blows, it sounds like wind chimes. As the leaves catch and reflect light like glass. And as you look towards the center of the tree, the bark itself, those of you with passive perceptions above 10, which I think is pretty much all of you, can see the vague shape of a face.
Wow.
And slowly, the eyes open and look at you.
Well, hi there.
Well, I'll be a talking tree. Well, a seeing tree, I guess. Hasn't talked yet.
Greetings.
Oh, there he goes.
It's speaking.
It's speaking.
Are you lost in my forest?
What
Are you
language is he
Silvari?
speaking?
He's speaking in Sylvan.
Oh, never mind.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
But I don't know what this tree's talking to us
We-
about.
Oh,
I
it's
don't
just
like
saying that
I will
we
step
might be
forward.
lost in its forest.
Can we install languages into you armor at some point?
it. That would be
You can borrow,
That
you can
would-
borrow my helm sometime.
pretty dope.
Download the languages app.
I will step forward and say,
Real quick, as you step forward, your horns kind of like hit some of the little like trailing vines, and as they hit, the leaves fall off, but they don't hit the ground. Before they do, they turn into glass moths, and they kind of flutter up past you, and they kind of fly away.
yes, we are looking for one named Silvari. We were following the lily path and seem to have lost our way. Can you help us find our way?
If you desire my assistance, you must offer me something in return.
I turn to Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Let me check my
Yes,
inventory
love.
real quick. Okay. What?
Jonquil, roll me an intelligence check as well. Just
I could offer the tree a song. I still have
No.
my bagpipes with me.
That's what I was thinking.
3. No, wait, 4.
Okay.
If I'm adding
Sorry.
proficiency. Still bad.
still bad.
It's dry now.
I say, do you enjoy music, oh wise one?
Music is hollow. I have no ears to enjoy music.
I've got lots of questions if I could understand this.
I
but-
usually I usually enjoy music through feeling, not through my ears. But okay, no music then. Is there anything that you'd like? Stories? Perhaps. The candle, the crowbar. I don't really have much on me.
A story, you say?
Story.
Give me
We
a
have.
story.
Story.
Talk about the time a Warforged burned down a city.
Oh dear God.
It's a pretty good story.
There once was a
Bob
man
would
from
have been-
Nantucket.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't-
Bob would
uh,
have been relaying this to Armor in the full lobby because now there's only the two of them.
Armor and
So Armor
Jonquil,
would
right?
actually,
I can't
Jonquil
understand.
got
Jonquil
kicked.
doesn't
What's
understand
happening?
anything.
yeah.
No,
Jonquil
in the
got
thought lobby. No.
Jon-
Oh, am I? I don't think so. I
No,
think
you're
it
not.
was
No,
Armor
no.
and
It wasn't
Callian.
Jonquil. It was
Yeah.
Armor and
Callian, but
Callian.
Callian got
Callian.
kicked.
yeah.
There's just the one. Okay.
He got kicked from the lobby.
Got kicked.
I left the chat.
Yeah,
Bye.
he's been banned for 24 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
All right. Well, so,
Okay.
he wants a story.
Yeah.
I got a
Oh.
couple.
You
I got
have
a couple
one?
stories. Me and my buddy Boiler had lots of adventures. Telling
I
about,
will
oh well, fine.
Offer to translate a story. If I would turn to Jonquil and ask for a story somehow. I'll say, Jonquil,
Yes.
you tell story. And I try to mimic like a performance, sort of.
Okay. Sure.
Tree wants a story. I'll just say that.
I'll take performance and
They don't
insight
want
checks from
my
both of you.
stories.
Performance from Fila, since that's what you want, how you're flavoring it, and then John
Should we
insight to.
ask the tree if it speaks common?
Well, I'm hoping.
Oh, to understand each other, you mean? Correct?
Yeah, to
Yeah.
understand
What do
each
you
other. Yeah.
I thought we
Yeah,
were doing
understand.
intelligence checks for those.
Yeah, but then you said performance. I was
Well,
like,
no, I'm mimicking a performance because I want her to do a performance for the tree.
They,
So I'm
yeah,
trying to pantomime her. doing a
17.
performance.
17 for insight.
for
Okay,
their
I'll just
insight,
do it.
yes.
Okay,
What did you say you want me to do? Performance.
performance. As you kind of pantomime your intention.
13.
Yes, I'll say you successfully are able to kind of convey that idea across as you all see Fila kind of pantomiming the act of telling a story.
All right. They will just kind of roll up their sleeves. Just say, all right, I am. I
Oh,
have
wise
my-
one, do you understand the common tongue?
Speak all stories.
Interesting.
And I just say, go ahead.
There once was a young man who lived at the edge of a small town. A town that could not be reached by any means but the circular road. The circular road was a trap. And in the center of this circular road there is a tower. Legend had it that if the princess in the tower could be saved, the town would be free to see the rest of the world. The circular road would be broken. So the young man shouldered his knapsack and began to travel the world. And they will start to tell the story of a young man who, through these misadventures, finds out that he must recover this key, the key to the princess's heart, and that this would be the way to save his town, to open the circular road to the rest of the world. And as this young man travels, he meets all of these strange individuals with all of these odd keys. And as he goes, he begins to collect more and more keys. and scrolls for arcane locks. Every means via which he can save this princess until finally he reaches the tower and scales the strange stone thing. But when he reaches a window, he cannot pass through, and what he sees is a princess with a key around her neck. And the only one who can free her is herself. And so there he stays, tapping on the window, begging her to unlock her heart. And so the circular road remains. Do you like tragedies? I'm sorry, I should have asked first.
I like all stories.
I'm glad.
I like this story. Ask what you will of me.
Do
How
you
do
know?
we get to Silvari? Oh,
Yes, that.
You seek this temple of the stone petal.
that does track.
Follow the lilies. And you hear the chime of the vines as they jingle off in a direction, and beneath them you see again the path of lilies appears.
The Temple of the Stone, what is it?
Petal.
Petal.
And as you all kind of depart, you hear it says, "Be well, little demon storyteller."
All right.
As
It's a
we're
little
leaving,
racist, but all right. I am actually, my lineage is devils, not demons, but it's fine.
common mistake. As we're leaving, I just say, "O wise one, may you live your days with ease."
Actually, Jonquil, as you are walking out and you pass underneath the vines, one of them kind of lingers for a while, and as you continue moving forward, it breaks off and it lands on your other shoulder and kind of turns around and connects into a necklace with leaves.
Well, this is very lovely. I'm fine with the racist comment now because I like this.
And as you touch,
Like
so
that
you have
tree
this
Malaki.
glass leaf necklace, and as you touch it, you do get a sense that it is magical.
Ooh.
It has
Oh.
8 leaves on it.
Oh, interesting.
What is this place?
So, as you all continue to follow the path of the lilies,
Bob's
Anything else?
just going to be like, I think it might be better if I take the lead, just in case we get lost again.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
so Bob, you're just moving up front, then Jonquil second.
Yep.
Same marching order except Bob up front.
Yep.
Alrighty. So, you all, now in your new marching order, continue along. I need perception checks from Callian and Bob, please.
Perception.
That's on you. Rely on me.
21. You were able to follow the path quite easily. And as you follow the path, you see ahead that the forest changes. It's not the same vibrant fairy forest that you've been used to thus far. This is a dark, dreary wood. The air coming off of it is cold you see a dark, almost reflective mist drifting between gnarled trees that are decrepit and lifeless. And as you get closer, the air begins to feel heavy. The path of lilies continues right up and in to this section of the woods. Do you guys follow?
Well,
I think we should keep going.
it's not like we have any other road to follow.
Yeah, let's go.
Be aware.
Yeah, let's go.
As you enter in, yeah.
Bobby's going to just put his hood up real quick, just in case.
Armor is just going to march along.
Okay.
No armor.
As you guys march into this, immediately the sky changes from what seemed more like a ocean green dusk to now a dark, moon-hidden night. I need perception checks, those of you without dark vision, at disadvantage. And then
It's a disadvantage.
disadvantage if you don't have dark vision.
22.
You good?
I don't see
12.
anything.
You're doing great, Callian.
I know.
I also got
I just
12.
don't.
Armor got 6.
6. Okay. Who had above 15? Okay. Those of you above that, as you kind of make your way through the mists in this section of the woods, you see that the source of the mists seems to be the glass leaves of the tree are breaking. And as they fall, they create this kind of dust that kind of floats around, creating this black smog that sits on the forest. And the sounds of the wilds around you go quiet. And as you kind of continue, you hear this low, droning hum. Armorer, you also hear this. And I need you to roll me a personality.
Oh.
Oh boy. Right? I stick as my current one.
Okay.
Stick as your current one. Nice.
Yep.
You hear the voices in your head kind of begin to all chatter at once. And they're kind of like all fighting over each other, but you're able to just kind of like push back and keep your current self. The rest of you almost see Armor as he's kind of walking along, kind of twitching. As he kind of ekes back and forth, but he's able to continue walking without any issue and saves his armor. Anything?
I would like to activate my headpiece.
Sure.
And just see if anything in the forest changes.
Okay.
I think their activation word is just like, show me.
Okay. And as you do this, you become aware of the fact that the forest here is clearly, even with your previous perception as well, very sick. You see now that the path of the lilies, the flowers, the individual flowers, they're actually pixies dressed in lilies. And as you look around ahead, you see that there are tons of pixies everywhere. But in this section of the forest, they are dreary. They are dejected. They're hopeless. And you see as they kind of like listlessly kind of sit against the branches and look around. Those that appear to make the path of lilies, they immediately appear. The flower petals begin to kind of rot along the edges, and they kind of appear back again as pixies. And they kind of run over to their other companions who are like fallen and littering the floor and littering the branches. And as they kind of run up, they also succumb to the same hopelessness. But they continue to appear. As you all continue to march forward, they do continue to appear. And this happens to each one as they appear. Callian, you rolled a pretty bad perception before, right, my friend?
Most recent one was a Uno.
Uno. Callian, as you are walking behind the group,
Oh no.
you become aware of this. You all start to hear this loud cracking sound, like if you were walking on, like frozen ice on a sidewalk, and kind of go crack.
Oh no.
And as you look down, Callian, it looks to you like you've been stomping on the frozen, dead, disfigured bodies of pixies
Oh.
Oh dear.
as their bones break with a hollow, broken sound.
Oh no. If he saw that with a nat 1, I assume the rest of us see that.
No, he didn't see them. He just noticed them after he started stomping on them.
But he's the one. He's so no.
But
Oh no.
eventually, you guys do come back to the edge of the forest, the edge of the dreary woods, and you can see the forest ahead of you goes back to being kind of the vibrant Fae. And it looks like it was just this section.
How long did we walk through that section? Just to get a sense of.
How did you guys feel when you were walking through there? We'll start with Fila. How did you feel as you were walking through that spot?
Felt nervous and confused.
Callian, how did you feel going through that?
Pretty anxious.
Armor,
Worried,
how
I
did you
guess.
feel? Yeah.
Armor felt nothing.
Armor, actually, you know what? That's fair, because throughout this whole experience, and we can retroactively do this if you want, you hear that droning.
Yeah.
The rest of you who heard the droning, like you're aware of the drone. Armorer, you don't only like hear the drone, but you like feel this inside you. Like everything inside you is kind of bubbling. And you have this like this subtle pull to go deeper into the darkness.
Sorry. There might be something over there.
You all see as Armorer tries to stray from the path of lilies.
Later.
Yeah.
Nope.
Later.
Well, fine. All right. I guess
Gently
I can
turn his shoulders straight forward.
burn
This
when
way,
you touch
buddy.
my
Yeah.
Ah!
We do burn slightly.
Mardev is, yeah, you guys do. And I should mention, point of fact, as Armorer, just as you were kind of walking around, right, you guys will see like the lilies, when they appear, they try to give Armor a fairly wide berth. Like they don't come in very close to him when they kind of, spawn in or load on the screen.
Could we infer that this is kind of like the way our two Fae buddies have reacted to touching?
Is it also a
Absolutely.
Fae allergy?
Yes.
Great.
You just see like a slightly burnt spots everywhere I step.
Oh no.
Wow,
Jonquil,
yeah.
how do you feel how did it make you feel going through that section of the woods?
There's a quick question before I answer that.
Mhm.
So this entire time we've felt this this like magical pulse, this strength. Did it seem diminished in this space or did it seem different?
Very diminished, like absent.
Okay. And I imagine they had that sensation of like, when you have a hair on you and you don't know where, but there's like something nagging at you, this like little prickle of nerves that you can't quite pinpoint. I think with the absence of that presence after it had been so strong, there's just the sense of unease and curiosity.
Bob, how did you feel?
He gets quite angry with anything that seems diseased. Not in a oh, you're diseased, I'm angry with you, just a sort of hopeless frustration that I can't do anything about this. So they're just really visibly upset the entire time that they have to witness all this and can't do anything about it.
Bob, I need you to roll me a charisma saving throw, please.
Great. What as much? Ha. Charisma. That's a 13.
As that sense of hopelessness seeps into you,
Mhm.
you cannot help but almost like sink into it.
8.
I'll let you know when, but for now, you cannot target other creatures with harmful abilities, spells, or other magical effects. You have disadvantage on charisma saving throws.
Perfect.
I will let you know. And you all see as Bob is leading you guys through. Jonquil, you being second, you immediately start to see Bob have this like look of anger and just kind of sinks into this similar depression to what you see the fairies responding to.
All right, we're getting the fuck out of here. You said that we could see part of the forest that was
Yeah.
back to that vibrant fae. They're
Yeah.
just like hands on his back, just like barreling them through as fast as they can. Like, we're out of here.
Bob, with a little help from your friends, as soon as you are pushed back into the vibrant side of the fae, that effect is over.
Oh, that was
Music timed
Hey,
perfectly.
that was good.
Right?
That was. That
I did it
was-
too with Max earlier. I was pretty pleased.
Thank
So-
you, Jonquil.
Of course.
With my knowledge of how the Fae works,
Hmm?
is there anything I can infer from that scenario? Namely, well, actually, did I see the pixies or was that just Jonquil?
As you all started going forward, as the pixies started getting affected by that thing, whatever it is, they become visible. So you
Okay.
do start to see them. And you also are all now aware that the path of the lilies is actually just numerous pixies appearing ahead of you.
Okay. Well, I suppose I am trying to infer if someone or something has gone in and caused this effect, or if maybe it's just something that the pixies are inherently sad about that is making their environment respond in that way.
Okay. I will say when you were in there, being a fey creature yourself, you felt the tug of that sense of hopelessness. You didn't sink into it like Bob did, but you were aware of just this dreariness, this almost like a disconnection from everything you know. It's like if we were, to suddenly walk into somewhere and the gravity would suddenly be heavier, right? Everything we know about the laws of the world suddenly feel wrong and absent and just empty.
And if it helps, because I know there's a mind link somewhere, I'm just going to imagine it gets conveyed somehow. Jonquil will inform everyone. The magic there seemed far lessened. I don't know if this place requires it to thrive, but it was not thriving there.
I want to
Yes,
try to
pixies
talk
are-
to one of the pixies that appears.
Okay.
I'll kneel down and say, "Hello there. What happened back in the woods to cause that sense of hopelessness?"
one of the little flowers, one of the lilies that appears, you go over and you whisper to it, roll me a persuasion check.
I'm out of
That's a good face.
inspiration. Why is
Thanks,
it
that's-
to you?
Yeah.
No, I'm out of it,
No.
unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
I just went to look. I was like, I can help. And I was like,
Yeah.
I can't help.
It's an
Oh
8.
no.
You whisper to the lily, and one of the petals kind of like sways, but it doesn't turn into a pixie.
Worth a try.
So, you guys continue down the path. Twinkle
Yes.
has like the heebie-jeebies, like, God, that was the worst. Oh, I just cannot wait to get to this temple. It's supposed to be really nice, they say.
You've heard of it.
I'm just going off of general inferences.
All right.
Like, far enough.
Alrighty. Yeah, we continue.
So you continue along, and let's see, same marching order?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Callian and Bob, perception checks, please.
I got it this time. I got it.
You sure?
I got it. What?
And I'll actually throw Jonquil, go ahead and take on this one too, because you're right afterwards.
I got 11.
18.
11, 18,
21.
21. As you guys are kind of continuing down the path of lilies. Here. Up
They
ahead.
silently turn around, armor first, just.
We're going to take a quick break here. It's a good point where we'll take a break. So, Button, you had a question about the...
I did, about what this Fey forest looks like now that we're out of the dark, kind of faded, on less magical space.
Mm-hmm. It's back to being that kind of vibrant, like someone cranked the saturation on the colors like up to 12. And the sky went from being that kind of pale green to being a bit more of like a natural kind of blue, black, purpley dusk kind of color. The moon is no longer there. The moon is no longer in this part of the sky, but the stars continue to dance overhead. The trees themselves are now a little bit more, you can now see translucent, right? The bark itself also looks to be like this kind of translucent, foggy glass. And the leaves are still glass. And as you guys kind of continue down, you had started to hear
Uncle tries to signal it to everyone to not make sound. And can we roll perception checks? Is there something ahead?
I'm still writing your previous perceptions. Yes, definitely. Jonquil, Bob, you are aware that something is ahead. Callian, you're way in the back and you're not really quite aware.
Fila puts her hood up on her cloak.
Bob will mention in thought lobby. I do believe there's something up ahead. Sleeping, perhaps. We should be quiet, just in case.
I'm going to, in a normal voice, go back and say to the group, something sleeping up ahead, we should probably be quiet.
Okay.
What are we looking at?
Gotcha.
And you guys continue to approach?
Yeah.
I would like to.
Yes, but
Just put a-
sneakily.
Can
Yeah.
I sneakily approach whatever is going?
Is it one or two of
snoring?
you or the whole party going over? Twinkle is just like, you tell me what to do and I'll just do it.
This
They put
depends
a
on,
hand on-
Jonquil's
Yeah.
signaling.
Yeah, Jonquil puts a hand on Armor's chest. Let's wait. Let's wait quietly
I'll be
Well,
back.
and let the
I'm just
very
imagining this
dexterous
5'5" just looking straight up.
Stop.
Stop.
Well, fine. Whatever you say, Jonathan.
I appreciate you very much.
Oh. Now, Frankie, you gotta be quiet. And I just look at my raven. Just kind of. He puts a little wing up.
All right.
Oh my god.
You want me to role play him, or do you want to role play him?
I can also roleplay Frankie unless you want to have him.
No, you go for it.
Stuff.
I'll signal to Bob.
So we got Bob and Fila heading forward. All right.
Oh.
Everybody else hanging back. Roll me those stealth checks, please.
I have advantage.
Yes, you have advantage.
Damn.
Ah, shit.
That's a 26.
26, okay. Fila?
Fila has an 8.
Okay. The two of you continue approaching, and as you do so, the path of lilies continues to appear before you, and the snoring gets louder. You also become aware of this gross, rotten stench that fills the air. You come across like just a clearing, and you don't see anything immediately, but you hear it still. And you look up, and you see a troll. Bald, and its skin tough and filled with kind of like boils and scars, and it's hanging asleep, upside down from a branch. You try to measure the distance. It becomes a bit difficult to do so accurately. Sometimes it looks shorter, sometimes it looks longer, but you get the sense that you can pass underneath this sleeping, hanging troll.
Huh.
It got a 2.
Oh, okay. So Fila will signal to the rest of the group and point up at the troll and say, come.
I gotta roll stealth now. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, is that
Unfortunately.
what we're doing?
Just in
Twinkle.
case, Bob is going to summon psychic weapons to his hands, just in case it wakes up and gets hostile.
Okay. Your
Like armor?
psychic blades appear.
Can I hold, as everyone is doing this, they're not casting it, but if it seems that the troll awakes, I'd like to hold minor illusion to have a bunch of the lily fairies appear in front of his nose.
Okay.
They're holding that. They're not just doing it.
Yeah, gotcha. That's fine. As you all kind of quietly
We got a
pass under the
4.
troll, one by one.
4. It's better than a 2.
Dirty 20.
The trolls snoring filling the space until a new sound fills the space. Until Armorer's giant iron foot kicks a gnarled root, and bong, it rings like a gong. The
Fairies with a
tree-
gong
Fairies with
in
a
front
gong.
of his nose. Yeah.
Okay. You cast the fairies, and you see all these like lilies and fairies just start to appear on his face. As you all kind of now like start rushing through, you hear
Run.
We're dashing, I think.
Yeah.
Uh,
he remains for the most part asleep.
Oh, good.
As you
Okay.
all run through, he rolled pretty shit, guys.
Amazing.
Goody.
I got a
I
2.
rolled a 5.
Oh, goody.
I rolled a 2.
Yeah.
Wow.
So- You guys, I guess, make it past the troll. You leave in the distance the sleeping, hanging troll. The sound of the snoring
The
recedes.
stealthiest group ever. So stealthy.
It's stealthy, and then armor.
Yeah, bong, bong, bong.
Callion.
It's a tree.
Disadvantage to stealth, okay.
As you kick the tree, even like the leaves again fell, and then the moths take off. Some of them don't, though. Some of them actually turn back into like regular colored moths, and then they fall on the floor, and then they kind of just like open and close their wings until they eventually just fold out and become part of the forest floor. You guys continue following the path of lilies. Same marching order, I'm assuming?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead and perception checks. Callian and Bob. Button, go ahead. Well,
Is this two nat 20s?
Say it.
217.
217.
7.
7. Okay. Bob?
Third time in a row that I've rolled 21.
Okay. All right. So Callian and Bob, as you guys are kind of going along, you start to hear up ahead of you.
Oh no. How many?
No.
Why do they?
And as
like
you approach,
sleeping on
you
this
see
path?
there is a hanging troll sleeping
Oh
in the
no,
distance.
are we in a
it
fucking
the-
loop?
Is
Like-
it the same hanging troll?
Roll me an investigation check.
I don't have advantage on that. That's a 23.
Seems to be the same troll.
God damn it.
Are we still following the lilies?
Well, we're in the same place. Seems.
One more time for science's sake. We'll try and run past it.
Okay. You all not even trying to be stealthy, just going for it?
Just run.
Let's just do it.
Okay.
This is more of an experiment than anything else.
Yeah.
You all run past the troll, and as you're kind of running through, you hear like goes back to sleep, but you all run through.
Keep it troll.
And you continue running, and just as you begin to slow down and
Again,
walk a few more paces,
I think that concludes our experiment. If you
Mhm.
want to run again, you're welcome. I'm going to stay here and wait for you to come through, though.
Perhaps.
Interesting
to-
thought. Does that happen? They run through.
Jonquil books it through.
I'm just
You
gonna
guys
wait
watch
here
it.
this time.
Yes,
You guys
I
watch this.
I'm gonna face the
imagine,
other
like,
way
the
to
screen
see,
is-
see if they can spot.
Oh yeah,
Jonquil
yeah. I
coming
imagine
back.
the screen is like held still on the rest of the party as Jonquil like runs off screen.
Uh-huh.
A couple
And
seconds
then
go
comes through
by,
the
and then
other side.
comes back
Had a
in.
good run.
And Jonquil, the troll, appears undisturbed.
Have
I
you?
think it's
Good
troll
morning.
magic.
Good morning. We're just gonna good morning it. Okay.
Perhaps
The
we need to
alternative
talk
is
our
to-
way through this one.
Mhm.
Yeah, it seems like we can't avoid it.
You call out, and it appears still be asleep.
I pull out my viol and I start playing the song of the forest of the glass trees.
Okay.
And I start minor illusioning the glass leaves that we've seen that turn into the moths, and just have them start to dance around his head as they start playing.
Bob's
Hey, roll me a
gonna join
performance
in with-
check.
Bob's gonna join in with his bagpipes.
Roll it at advantage.
I think
Where'd you go?
Oh my goodness, that's disgusting. 28.
Oh. Yeah, you begin to play, and as you do so, the troll slowly begins to awaken, but the forest itself seems to come alive. The branches, you guys hear this creaking, cracking sound as even the branches kind of start to move with the rhythm of the song. The pixies all start to kind of surround this little glade, and you can see some of them are appearing as lilies, some as roses, some as, there's a particularly like chonky pixie who comes in as a sunflower.
Aww.
Les. Good
Um,
morning, good morning.
And the
Wait
troll
till Callian steps on him.
the sunflower.
troll wakes up and glances around. Oh! As he looks down, he realizes he's hanging. He goes, oh.
Are you not usually like that?
No.
Would you
Is he
like help
restrained at
down?
all?
Sorry?
Is he restrained at all? Like tied?
He's
to
just
it?
being tied up by his right ankle. As it kind of like is
Oh,
looped around his right
no.
ankle up the tree and back down. You can see the rope itself kind of leads deeper into the forest.
Oh gosh.
Hmm.
I
And
feel like
as the troll
we
kind of
help you-
realizes what's happening, you see him going to go, He breathes a sigh of relief after kind of patting his head.
Show me.
To show you.
I would like to see what's on his head. If they would like to activate their headpiece just to see if anything changes.
Oh, nothing changes. He's
Okay.
mostly bald, except for 3 thick pieces of hair.
Hmm.
And you can see as he kind of like pets them down and just kind of smooths his 3 hairs as he hangs from this tree. You get me down, please.
Absolutely. If we get you down, will you help us get to the Temple of the Stone Petal, my dear friend?
Oh, yes. I know the way.
Insight check.
Mm-hmm. Same.
He nods earnestly without an insight check. He
Okay.
seems eager.
Okay.
oh,
All right.
I'll go below in the meantime. Like,
Ready. Ready.
And you said that the
How
rope goes off
big-
into the forest.
how big is the troll?
The troll?
Yeah.
It's quite large. It's quite
Aha.
large.
I'm not gonna stand underneath it.
how big is the rope, or how thick is it?
Yeah.
The
can we
rope's
cut
not
it
too
through?
thick at all. It's a very narrow, very fine rope. It's like your standard, what would be sailing rope, you know?
Okay.
Bob's gonna cut it.
Okay.
Dagger.
Yep. Just
Bob, you cut it. Roll me an attack roll at advantage. It's not moving. It's just rope.
the first roll was a nat 20.
Yeah, easily enough. The blade just kind of like lightly touches the fibers, and they just almost like just sliver on their own.
Wait, how high up is he?
Sliver. Let's find out.
Feather fall. I have feather fall as a
Oh!
reaction.
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
He,
If it's
as those of you who are kind of like realizing just as he got cut, the sense of dread of like, where the hell am I standing? You look up, and as you look up, it almost like dolly zooms out as the troll just kind of like recedes, and you realize it was going to be falling very far. And just as it is about to be taken away by gravity, it just drifts. And you see him kind of like, he stretches, acting like this is totally normal for him to be floating. And he alights on the ground, and as he does so, he reaches into his little pouch and he pulls out a jar. As he pulls out this jar, he unscrews it. Roll me perception checks.
15.
Ooh, 23.
15, 23 make.
24, actually.
Still makes it.
11.
Does not make it. Makes it. You all see, as he kind of, those of you that I said made it, you all see in his jar, as he kind of sticks a finger in and pulls it out, there's like this gel on the end of his finger, and you can see like little chunks of fairy wings in this jelly as he goes, oh, and he smooths down his 3 strands of hair.
Oh,
He looks at all of
gosh.
you and he goes, screws it back up. So, you want go temple?
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
I am Bridge Troll. I make sure you can find the bridge.
Wonderful. Where's the bridge?
I must let you pass bridge if you want to find temple. Can't pass bridge without troll.
I see. Well, that explains some things.
Troll, very important job.
You will help
Get
us.
tired.
Is this in Sylvan or Common?
This isn't common. We're all part of it. Don't worry.
Okay.
You will help us get across the bridge and to the temple. Yes?
He looks
Like you
to all
said
of
you would in exchange for us letting you down, remember? It was only a few seconds ago.
He looks at you all and he goes to you, Fila. Okay. You, Callian. Okay. You, Jonquil. Okay. You, Bob. Okay. Twinkle. Armorer.
Okay.
Well, why not me?
He looks at you and he kind of like arches an eyebrow. And his hand kind of moves up to his hair and he kind of pets it down. Not pretty, no. You know, Carl.
They, Jonquil will just turn to those two and then turn back and say to him, I promise they will not walk across the bridge. And they cast Tensor's floating disc. Up on.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Clever. I
Good,
like
good
it.
trick.
Pretty.
Hit 21. I rolled a 10. It's gross.
Nice.
It's hard.
That's really
21.
gross.
Yeah.
And then as you kind of, make your proposal, all the fairies and pixies who are around as well, who were enjoying the concert previously, start kind of like nodding along and they kind of like start clapping. They're like, yeah, kind of like
right.
backing you up. And the troll looks around and he goes, no touch bridge.
Absolutely.
He looks to Twinkle and you, Armor, and he goes, no touch bridge.
I can oblige.
Are you really going? Do you really plan to oblige?
Yeah, I can carry 500 pounds.
No, Armor.
Oh, I see.
Armor.
Is he rolling an insight check on me?
Uh-oh.
Well, I need to roll an insight check on you.
Do such a thing.
Okay. Twinkle goes, certainly, Mr. Troll, I will not touch your bridge. And Troll goes, okay. You're welcome, you two ugly ones. And he kind of escorts you all, continuing down the path of the leaves. And as you continue your journey, you start to see a stone archway. Well, actually, no, sorry. You see an archway that looks like, like Japanese temples, how they have those kind of like those big wooden ones.
Like a pagoda.
Yeah. It's like that, but it's made of stone. And when you look at the archway, you see on its sides, the forest continues. But through the archway is a cliff with a stone staircase that goes on for a little bit and then kind of switchbacks up into the air. And you can see ahead as you kind of get in towards the archway and you look up, you can see that ahead of you is a large floating island. And the staircase leads in a switchback up to the floating island. And the troll stops and he goes, okay, this is it. This is the bridge. And he points at the long staircase. And he looks to you, Jonquil, and he says, you promise they don't touch staircase. They don't touch bridge. No bridge.
No touching bridge. They will gesture to the
How big is
disc,
the
which just
disc?
exists for it. It is.
Just out of curiosity.
I would guess 5 feet.
I think
5
it's
foot
5
radius?
feet. Yeah.
Oh, how convenient. Armor is going to lay on the desk on his side, like propped up,
Yeah.
going
Little
in
French
style.
girl.
Yep.
All right, and then I'll pick up Twinkle and just set him behind Armor.
Like sits down on your waist armor like a bench, like a park
Yeah.
bench. And he just kind of like puts his chin in his palm and goes like, well, I guess this is it then.
As
Was
long
this
as you
one-
don't try to paint me, partner, we should be good.
Was this one continuous
Like one of those
staircase, or was it like
rituals.
patches?
It's a switchback.
It's a pretty continuous staircase, but yeah, it does switch back as it kind of like drastically climbs up.
But it's all connected.
Upwards. It's all connected. Yeah. At every switchback, it just kind of goes on to the next one. Roll me perception checks as you all kind of come through the archway.
23.
3.
You know
Wait.
what? This is actually a pretty. I gotta
7.
say, I apologize. This is a pretty dumb request for a check, but I'll still take the calls for now.
All right.
So we got a
9.
3, a 23, a 9.
7. Sorry, I
7.
forgot that I have
6.
Bob.
20.
20. Okay, so I guess it's just our mountain satyrs, in which case, that notice this as you all kind of step out. So not only do you all see this island floating above and ahead of you, you also see that there is another island that is in the sea beneath. Kind of far ahead, there's kind of like a good like gap, right? But there is another island ahead. And quick thing, as you guys look out to the horizon doesn't work the same way in the Fae. As you look out, you know, if you can imagine what it would look like if a curtain was kind of spilling onto the floor, right? It's like that, except in the opposite direction, where the horizon kind of spills up into the sky.
Ooh.
So you can't see far out, but you can see up until that edge. And you can see the island below. Those of you are two mountain satyrs, your connection with the Fae, you feel a sense, that same sense of hopelessness emanating from that distant island. You feel that further away, there is that same uncomfortable, that same depression. And you can see that same black smog that was vaguely reflective kind of working its way through different parts of the island. And that's on the second island. And the troll looks at you all and he goes, okay, hey, if you see Turtle, tell him, sup.
Sup. Okay.
Sup.
Wait.
And he-
Right?
Bridge troll. What or who put you in that tree back there?
Turtle.
Turtle?
Turtle?
The turtle put me in
Turtle?
the tree.
Oh,
The turtle put you in the tree.
I realize better for circulation to hang, not wake up with stiff neck.
Ah,
okay.
duly noted.
Bye bye. And you kind of
Bye
leave
bye.
back into the forest,
Oh my
leaving you all at the archway. The stone staircase continuing in and upwards.
It was a rather friendly troll.
Yes, I wasn't expecting that.
Yes.
Nicer than the stories for sure.
If I do start acting strange in the future when we go to these wherever we're supposed to go, you have my permission to slap me out of it.
Understood.
I'm concerned about you too.
Don't worry about me.
I'm gonna say you guys are walking and talking up the stairs as you do this.
Knowing my dear friend's propensity for touching shit he isn't supposed to, Junkful is walking very quickly.
Okay.
As
I
Armor
would-
is like his arm hammer is just kind of like drifting around a little bit.
Armorer?
Is there space for
Ah,
two
you're-
people to be side to side for
Yes.
the disc?
Yeah.
Okay, John Kill, which side do you want? I think we gotta contain him.
You're right. I'll take the left, you take the right.
I'm just like whispering to
Twinkle?
Frank.
Twinkle.
No, I'm whispering.
Oh,
to
Frank, your bird.
Oh, Frank.
And Frank is gonna fly. So who is on my, I guess, in front of me? But
We're on the left and right.
Okay, so which side is Callian on?
I'm on.
Don't make me do this.
I'll be
Don't
on
make
your
me
right
do
side.
So Frank is gonna flap right in front of
Make
you,
me do this.
Oh no.
and Armor's gonna try and touch with his arm hammer to the ground.
Don't make me do
No.
this.
Okay, hang on.
cast-
Yeah, what do you cast?
Hold person.
No, I need you to make. Oh fuck! Sorry. A wisdom saving throw.
It
Charm.
doesn't depend
No.
if I see anything too.
Oh,
You
no.
see
distracted by
something,
the
say
bird.
something.
I'm not being particularly secretive.
Callan, what do you do as the... I'll give you a reaction as well.
The bird's distracting me at this point, I think, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the bird is flapping in front of. So
I
the
put my
mechanical
arm
bird's
up.
is going to go say hi to Callian.
Put my
Okay.
arm up so I can land.
Yeah,
Armor, what's your save?
a 19.
Fuck. All right, you
Oh,
save.
no.
You save. Okay. So Armor, you reach out and you touch the staircase.
Oh no.
I feel like
And-
Phila like
Back.
sees it just before it happens, and she's about to go.
Yeah,
No.
everyone has that moment.
Armor,
Like a slow motion scene.
Yeah.
What happens? I need to know
what happens is as you all are running forward, you hear this scraping noise as Armor's fingers just contact
Well, it would be
the
the
surface
hammer,
of the
yeah.
stone.
Yeah.
Your hammer?
It would be the arm hammer one.
The arm hammer?
Yeah.
Okay. You hear it kind of like clanking on the stairs. Ding, ding, ding. And as the clanking continues, suddenly the troll appears on the staircase ahead of you. And Armor, as you are all rushing forward, the troll lunges forward, grabs you by the chest,
Is he
and
burning?
teleports out.
Oh, damn it.
No.
The rest of you see as Armorer was just yoinked by the Fey troll who just teleported in front of you all and just lunged forward, grabbing Armor by the chest, and then just bamfing right back out.
I would love to know what the fucking purpose of that was. I hope he discovered something interesting.
All right, Max, we'll get back to what
Armorer.
happens to you
I-
later on.
He discovered something interesting about this bridge. They're just shouting into the air. Was it worth it? Was there a point? I want to know if he discovered something.
You can't put that in front of Armor and say that and then call
No.
him
I would love to know the
We
reason.
tie him up.
I would love to know the purpose of touching it because you're a very smart creature. They're just yelling into
Yelling
the
into the void.
and they're marching forward still. It's a very smart individual. Surely there is a purpose. Surely there is a scientific method
So did
afoot.
Marduk
Surely you've
get, like-
discovered something
So what
goddamn
happened to
worth.
Marduk?
Just
Because Marduk
gotta-
was sitting on me.
Mardov, like, gets
Mardov-
tipped over, and he's
Not-
going to... he'll roll a dexterity saving throw.
Twinkle, not Mardov.
Twinkle.
Oh, is it Twinkle? Oh, never
He made a good save. He's able to kind of like jump off of you and like he's like, oh shit!
mind.
What the hell was that? You all
That was karma.
As
That was
Jonquil is angrily screaming into the sky, I would like to come up to Jonquil and put a hand on their shoulder and try to communicate that they need to stay calm in this atmosphere so as not to cause the environment to change around us to reflect your emotions.
Or
So
other
I'm
breeds.
going to take a deep breath and signal that they breathe with me. Oh. And I guess I just say in Sylvan, we will come back for him. Our mission remains to get to the Stone Petal Temple. Come. We must go.
I
you all-
am calmly walking.
I'm calm.
I think Bob is going to cast. No, it's just Psychic Whispers is up to 100 meters.
Yeah, no,
I
go
think.
ahead and try it. Go ahead and try it.
Hey, where are you now?
So remember this moment, guys. We're going to double back this. I'm going to move you guys
Yeah.
ahead, and then we're going to go to armor.
Okay.
And I'll tell you armor when you get that prompt. So just remember what you said
Okay.
there, Bob.
Okay.
So
You all continue up the staircase and arrive at the top. You come through a similar stone archway. And as you look ahead on the path, you get your first view of the Temple of the Stone Petal. Imagine a Japanese temple, but made of like white alabaster stone that sparkles in the dusklight. There are imprinted shapes and carvings of incredible detail pressed into the walls. And there are two such buildings that sit at the edge over the cliffs, overlooking the cliffs of this floating island. And as you approach, following the lilies, you see some large boulders up ahead, and they're covered in moss and vines, and they loom over a very fine writing desk of rich dark wood and expert craftsmanship. There's a high-backed chair with royal purple-colored cushions, and seated therein is a devilishly handsome man. He has short hair that leads down into a low ponytail. His dark eyes are set in his handsome face, and they follow you as you all near the temple. He sits with his feet up on the table, rocking back in his chair, seeming for all the world the most comfortable person imaginable. He wears princely robes embroidered with gold fillings, and he stands to greet you, and he offers a sweeping bow that on his face, it's hard to tell whether it's gracious or mocking. As he smiles up at you coyly and he goes, welcome to the Stone Petal. My name is Carinel. How may I help you? Callian,
Really?
you recognize this individual
Uh-oh.
as your childhood friend, Carinel. And that's where we're going to end with you guys.
I wanted to punch him. Okay.
Do you want to punch him?
That would have been my first instinct.
I'm just going to put in the notes, punches
Oi.
Carinel.
No.
Oh no.
just goes
Oh,
up.
Wait.
my
Hello,
God.
hello, my friend.
He said he wants to punch him. Are you really going to punch him?
That's where
Are
we're
you
starting
punching
off the
him?
next session.
We'll find out.
Oh,
Callian
Okay.
No.
punching Carinel.
great.
Okay. And Armorer. Hang on. I gotta switch some things around. We're gonna need different music for this, buddy.
See how he has a thing prepped?
He knew it. He knew it was
He
gonna happen.
knew what Max was gonna do.
Armorer. You are grabbed by the troll.
Is the troll still
And-
burning? It's a fake creature.
So as he grabs you at your chest plates, this is kind of doubling back to that moment. He grabs you by the chest plates. You can see his skin begin to kind of sizzle, but the look on his face, he doesn't care. As he lunges off the side of the staircase with you, you guys like are in open air for a moment. And before you even start falling, you're bamfed back out. You reappear with the troll holding you in the forest. As you appear, he throws you, and you kind of roll across the floor. And immediately, Armor, you feel the difference of where you're in. You're not in the same vibrant forest. You look around and you realize you're back in the dreary wood. Roll me a personality.
Come on, violence.
Come on.
Oh no.
Yeah, bud.
This is our new personality.
Okay.
Oh no.
This is
What'd you get?
so. You'll just have to see how I roleplay. Well, I
Okay.
mean, it's number 2. If
Okay.
that helps you.
I don't remember them sequentially, so I'm excited. So you
Number
pick yourself
2
up.
is- yeah.
You're picking yourself up You put your hammer in the ground, you get to your knees, and you're kind of standing back up, and you're facing off now against this troll. Its hands are just like sizzling in this kind of steam. And as you change personalities, you see the troll, I told you. And he kind of begins, as he kind of buckles to his knees. And he's staring at you, his face enraged. You are too ugly to walk on my bridge. As he's like frothing at the mouth, but he seems to be having a difficult time moving forward. And you look behind him real quick, and you see, imagine kind of like a mushroom, a large, like 15-foot high mushroom, except the top of the toadstool goes up into one large spike. And from the sides of it, there are other similar spiked, smaller mushrooms. There is a mist that hangs in the air here. And you can see that as the troll inhales the mist, you can see the clouds of it moving into his powerful nostrils. And as he exhales, pushing it back out, you see he gets weaker and weaker. The mushroom has kind of like a metallic glow to it, or a metallic kind of reflectiveness to it. And it kind of also kind of shimmers to red as your kind of parallax changes. You see that there are edges of it that kind of shimmer and change color slightly. But you are now at your feet, the troll standing before that giant mushroom, looking very uncomfortable. What do you do?
You grabbed me. I don't like touching. No. I am and then you just see that armor does a thunder wave. I have one last thunder wave.
Okay.
And I want
that seems fitting.
Wave it directly into the like metal mushroom spike thingies that are going on behind him.
Okay. You thunder wave. All right, roll me. What do I need to roll? Save?
This would be
Con save, I think.
a con save of 17.
All right, armor. I've got 2 dice ready for you. Wow. He rolled a disadvantage with a 2 and a 3.
Wow. Okay, so he did take 2d8 thunder damage, and he's pushed back 10 feet away.
Okay.
So, does it...
What's the
14
damage? 14 damage?
Yep.
Okay. And describe your attack for me. What do you do?
So, Armor ends up taking his hammer and just clapping it into his fist. So normally he would have taken 2 fists and clapped them together, but he doesn't have that anymore. So he's had to adapt. So it's just kind of, it's like hitting the hammer onto his closed fist to create the thunder wave that projects out.
Okay. You step forward and you whack and you hit the thunder wave projects forward and it just kind of pushes straight through. You see the black reflective spores all kind of kick up out of nowhere. You see the dead disfigured pixie bodies that were littering the ground are also just kind of tossed into the air, and you see it hit the troll square in the chest. It flies back and lands and collides into the mushroom. And when it hits the mushroom, it breaks apart into dust. It doesn't kind of, you can imagine like if it was made of like almost plasma.
Like one of those puff mushrooms.
Yeah, not quite. I mean, there's parts of it that puff off, but it kind of behaves more like plasma. So as it hits him, it kind of like, and it kind of holds the troll as he becomes just consumed. The spores drift through the air, Armorer, and as they kind of waft in around you, your personalities all at once just begin to flood into your mind until it becomes so much you're brought to your knees as they're all chattering at once. Not just the ones that you have, personalities that you didn't know you have begin kind of pouring into you as your mind just starts breaking into like halves and halves and halves, and it just kind of reoccurs. And then suddenly, you're offline.
Oh, no.
And that's where your session ends.
So we didn't even get to the part where I heard the do you hear or whatever. It's like, so where are
Here,
you?
Bob.
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
Yep.
Just as this is happening, just as your mind begins to start fracturing and breaking, Bob comes in. Bob, what do you say to Armor?
Where are you?
And then as one passing thought, goodbye, sleeping now.
What?
And that's
Did
There's
you log
nothing.
out of the thought lobby?
Oh, Bob, yeah, he is gone. He's gone. You lose him.
Shit.
Just, I imagine you nervously looking over at Jonquil.
Like, how do I break
Oh,
this
what happens
news?
to Frank?
Oh, he's offline.
So
The
Frank,
last thing you see is Frank just kind of crumple.
yeah.
Oh, gosh.
So he just falls off of Callion's arm, I guess, at this point.
Oh yeah, you got it. Oh, he's with them. That's right.
Yeah, he never.
That's right.
Come with.
So Callion, you see Frank crumple. Just before
Okay.
I'll say just as you encounter Caranel.
I'll have to keep
So-
track of this for next time.
Yep. All right, guys. That's it. That's our first
Yep.
session.
Oh
Welcome
my
back.
goodness.
Oh boy.
All right, better start preparing to
Oh.
reroll a character.
Oh man.
You.
If you're not
wanted-
dead, I'm going to murder you.
You wanted this, man. You were
I
like,
know,
I'm gonna
I
touch
know.
the
You
bridge.
100% asked for this.
Hey, Armor was in
I
his
hope
more
you learned
chaotic
something
mode.
important.
If we get this guy back and we promise he doesn't do something, we're just gonna have to tie him up.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Well, he called him ugly, so
I feel like the
That's-
troll might be like extremely vain, and that's why he's concerned with his hair.
I know
I
I was
think
actually gonna burn his hairs
Very-
off, but then I was
Context
like, no.
wise, he
Yeah.
was happy with the satyrs. He was about the infernal bloodline. And then pretty much fine with Callion, it seemed like. But you're made of fucking metal. And I
Yep.
don't know the context with kobolds, but I feel like there was a very fey reasoning behind that choice.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
It was a really good. I love the workaround of we won't let them touch the bridge. I was like, all right, that's
Yeah, I love Tensu's floating
yeah,
disc.
right,
That was
It was
brilliant.
very clever, honestly.
God.
It
that-
would have been great!
And
It's gonna
swell.
work out. I was honestly hoping you were gonna beat my roll, but I'm like, I gotta do this. I
you
gotta try.
it was a save. My spell save for level 5, my spell save is 16.
Yeah.
Was that a charm person?
man.
It was suggestion.
I
I was gonna suggest that he follow directions.
strongly suggest you do not
Suggest-
do what you're about to
strongly
do.
suggest.
If it was the regular armor, no problem. You just
Yeah.
happen to have the wrong armor.
Yeah.
Hey man,
It's a spicy armor.
works
Yeah.
for me.
He's a dead armor.
Now he's
Let's see
probably-
what happens.
We're gonna see what happens. I'm interested. 'Cause we did talk
Max,
about some
we might
things.
talk about. I don't know how.
Yeah.
I've got to think about how I want to handle this. Luckily, we have a
I
week.
didn't think it was gonna come up this fast.
Neither did I. Neither did I, Max. Neither did I.
First session. So
I had
new
plans.
character.
So,
Interesting.
You're gonna end up with a new
Nigel,
hand, right?
how do you feel? You finally found him.
Well, first it was, glad of seeing old friend, but then the anger came out,
We'll see.
knowing what I know right now.
Mhm. So, we'll see. We'll pick up.
So much for a
Point,
safe
point.
place. Book lied.
So much for a safe place, he says after endangering himself.
And others.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey. Shh. Details. Details.
Oh my god.